What's up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Just Grow It, the podcast. Boom, 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 boom. I'm your host, Big City. Yeah, I'm a clown. I'm your host, Big City Gardener, and today we are continuing talking about KNF or natural farming. Today we are going to talk about the different inputs that you can make at your house relatively easy, and I'm not going to go into detail about how to make each one. We're just going to talk about what they are and kind of what their purpose is. All right, so if you listened to the last episode, then you know that natural farming is a way of putting the power of agriculture back into the hands of the grower or the gardener. So natural farming is like a growing style, okay? I'd say it's more organic than organic. And what you do with natural farming is you create your own inputs. Inputs are the same thing as fertilizers. And once you have these inputs, we are supercharging our soil and making sure it is teeming with life. So rather than us going and spending our hard-earned money to purchase fertilizers, whether organic or synthetic, from a large agricultural company, we are going to use relatively cheap ingredients and time to make our own. All right, so let's get started. The first input that you will be making when it comes to natural farming, and probably the most famous one, is something known as IMO. Now, IMO stands for indigenous microorganisms. So there's 4 stages when it comes to IMOs. IMO 1, 2, 3, or 4. IMO 1 and 2 are the easiest to make. IMO 3 and 4, you need time and you need more of these ingredients or these inputs that we are talking about in this episode. So IMO, you're going to go out and you're going to hunt. And when I say hunt, you are looking for areas that are teeming with microbes. And the trick is that big, tall trees are grown by big, strong microbes, okay? Wherever you see a forest, an old growth forest that is full of big, tall trees, you can bet that there are a lot of microorganisms around. The use of IMO helps create microbial rich and fertile soil, great for farming and gardening. This also helps increase our yields and decrease pest issues. If you want to learn about IMO hunting, check out the YouTube video that I have. The next input is lab, or lactic acid bacteria. Lab is one of the most essential ingredients in natural farming. It is also one of the easiest to culture and create. This liquid helps to promote vigorous growth in leafy greens and fruit trees. So this is something that you can spray onto the leaves, or you can even use it as a soil drench. When you apply this lab to plants, what it does is help the plants increase their ability to absorb nutrients. Another thing that lab is known for is for helping to speed up the decomposition process. So what I like to do whenever I make a fresh batch of lab is to spray my compost bin with the lab. Lab is something that you will apply during the vegetative state or the vegetative growth phase of your plants. All right, next we have FAA, or fish amino acids. Fish amino acids are rich in nitrogen, micronutrients, and amino acids. This is actually one of the best nitrogen-rich fertilizers that you can make for your plants. One of the beautiful things about FAA is that you actually make it from scraps. If you ever go fishing, or you can go down to your local fish shop and tell them you want the head, backbone, guts, any parts of the fish that you can get your hands on. And then you allow them to ferment and break down for an extended period of time. When I say extended, I'm talking like 6 months or more, okay? FAA is an amazing input to use during the vegetative state. Avoid applying FAA during transitional period or during the fruiting or flowering process. And that's because it's high in nitrogen, and if we're talking about fruiting or flowering, then we need something that is high in what? Were you listening to the old episodes where we talked about the macronutrients? If not, go back and check it out. But during the transitional and fruiting phase, what you need is something that is high in phosphorus and potassium. Next, we have FPJ, or fermented plant juice. Fermented plant juice is a liquid that is extracted from the plant sap that is found in their leaves. This liquid is packed with microorganisms. It is an enzyme-rich solution that helps strengthen plants. You can apply FPJ foliarly, or you can use FPJ and a few of these other inputs that we're going to talk about to take your IMO to different levels. The next input that we're going to talk about is FFJ. So it's very similar to FPJ, but FPJ is made from plant leaves. FFJ is made from the fruit of a plant. That is correct. It is made from fruit. This liquid is made from fermenting ripe fruits that grow well in your area. So we're not going to the store and purchasing random tropical fruits or fruits that don't grow in your city. What you want to do is find a fruit that is known to grow well in your area. When that fruit is abundant, you can catch it. You don't catch fruit. You could harvest this fruit and you can freeze it until you're ready to make your FFJ, or you can just make it then. FFJ is an input that you will apply to your plants during that transitional and that flowering or fruiting phase. Next, we have OHN. This is the Oriental Herbal Nutrients. Now, to be honest with you, OHN is the most time-consuming input to create, but it's also one of the most important. OHN helps to increase a plant's robustness and vigor. It helps to increase a plant's ability to access the beneficial microbes that we are adding to the soil, or better yet, the beneficial microbes that are already present in the soil. Beautiful thing about OHN is that you can use it in all three plant phases: the vegetative, the transitional, and the fruiting or flowering phase. You can even take shots, literally shots like it's vodka, but you can take shots of OHN, and the fact that it's fermented means that when it hits your gut, it can help improve your gut health. All right, next we have WCA, or water-soluble calcium. Water-soluble calcium is a liquid form of calcium. And the beauty about WCA is that when you apply it to a plant, it helps increase a plant's ability to absorb beneficial microbes. So when you apply WCA to a plant, what it does is help a plant be able to utilize its nutrients better and also to absorb more nutrients. If you're unaware, proper calcium is directly related to a plant's health. If you've ever grown tomatoes or peppers and you've experienced something known as blossom end rot, well, this WCA right here is a way to basically combat that problem or that issue. By applying this to your garden one time, you can almost ensure that you don't have to deal with any of these issues. Now, not only is WCA amazing for plants, it's also super dope and fun to make and watch it while you're making it. You're mixing eggshells with vinegar and allowing them to react, and you can watch the calcium bubbles leave the eggshells and just go into the liquid. Anyway, it's fun to watch. If you want to see the process, check out the video on YouTube. All right, so the final input that we're going to talk about today is BRV, or brown rice vinegar. Brown rice vinegar helps to encourage vegetative growth in plants. So we use BRV, or brown rice vinegar, to make our water-soluble calcium. So it is safe to say that brown rice vinegar increases a plant's ability to absorb calcium. Like OHN or FAA, brown rice vinegar takes a good amount of time to create. I'm talking a minimum of 6 months or so. Now, you can speed up the process if you have a vinegar mother, but for more information on how to actually make brown rice vinegar, you can head over to the Big City Gardener YouTube channel and check it out. Or you can actually head over to the Big City Gardener blog and read about it if you want to. Yeah, I'm plugging myself. It's all right. Now, these are not all of the inputs associated with KNF or natural farming. These are just the most common ones that you'll see and hear. If you're interested in purchasing any of these KNF inputs, then you can head over to the website because I sell some small batch KNF products over there. Now, hopefully all of these acronyms weren't too confusing and you didn't turn this episode off. No, really, hopefully these acronyms weren't too confusing and it kind of just piqued your interest and made you want to learn a little bit more about natural farming. If you want more information about natural farming, you already know where to head, the Big City Gardener YouTube channel. And not just me, man. What you also want to do is check out a buddy of mine by the name of Marco. Marco is growing. He is the KNF master. And just remember, with natural farming, all of these inputs that we just mentioned use ingredients that are readily available at your house. So eggs, eggshells, white rice, raw sugar. The only one that uses things that you may not have on hand is the FAA, the fish amino acids, because you're going to need some fish to make those. So that's it for this episode. I need to go outside, get in the garden before it gets too late. But you already know what I'm going to ask you to do, and that is to share this episode with a friend, like and subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff, man. I'm on a mission to try to make this podcast like a top 10 gardening podcast. So any feedback you may have, any suggestions, please feel free to send them my way. Email me at igrow@bigcitygardener.com. That's it for this week. Go outside, get some good vitamin D and that sun in your life. And while you're out there, take your hands out of your pockets, stick them in the ground, and just grow it. Before I let you go, I need you to do more than one thing. First, I need you to like, comment, subscribe to the podcast. Second, I need you to tell a friend or two about the show if you enjoyed it. And if you have anybody you think I need to talk to, I should interview, send the name over, put it in the comments, or send me an email, igrow@bigcitygardener. And check me out, man, on Instagram and on all social media platforms, Big City Gardener. We out. Oh, almost forgot. Just grow it.